Okay, so I recently created a Twitter and YouTube page basically to start thinking about some issues of theology and things I'm thinking about that I thought to myself, could I write a book during this kind of time of isolation? And I realised even in this time I don't have the kind of like the will. And so what I thought I'd do was just try to think how I could do it in a way that suits me and suits maybe other people. And I wanted to make a series of short videos on different themes of theology and different things I can think about and discuss. And I called it Incarnate. And the reason I called it Incarnate is simple, because if I was to take, say, a Bible verse that I'd have tattooed on me, and I don't have any tattoos, but if I did, there are two tattoos I'd have. One is a Celtic tickleret, which is a kind of Celtic Trinity symbol, and the other is in Greek, John 1:14. So the passage where it says, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among them, dwelt among us." And I love the word "dwell" to sum up how John sums that. So John doesn't have a birth narrative like Matthew or Luke, and his genealogy is that his present is just very different from, say, Matthew or Luke, which is a very physical number. But John has a genealogy, and his birth narrative is that it's the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. And the word for dwell in Greek is the word skino, and skino is an interesting word. It can mean tabernacle, it can mean, what I like about it, I think it's the message that says pitched a tent. And I love the idea that God pitches a tent amongst us and hangs out with us and lives with us. And so I'm fascinated of all the kind of theological ideas. Incarnation is the one that fascinates me, and I think as a doctrine it really helps us not just understand who Jesus is. And I think part of the problem we have is that we get all excited about incarnation at Christmas time. So we talk a lot about the incarnation at Christmas time, but we don't really realise the full implication of God with us, God being amongst us, God pitching a tent with us. And I just love the idea of God pitching a tent with us. And so for me, the idea that God pitches a tent with us is just fascinating. And the fact that I think it also drives not just our understanding of Jesus, but also our understanding of mission. And for me, as someone, I got given an option when I started at Devonport Baptist Church. They said, where do you want to live? And for me, there was no question. I wanted to live in Devonport. I wanted to be in Devonport. I wanted to walk the same streets, go into the same shops, use the same facilities, experience life as people in Devonport experiences. And I think that's a fundamental missional principle. And Richard Rohr actually calls it a fundamental principle, incarnation, a fundamental principle of Christianity itself. And so that's what I want to do. I want to explore incarnation, but also I want to explore some other themes, kenosis, which it's funny, I didn't really get kenosis when I was at college, and I didn't really listen to the lectures. And I really love that idea now of of Jesus giving himself completely to us, I've got it in my mind and I can't remember what the word is. Anyway, kenosis, atonement, those theories. Also, I've been more exploring Celtic theories, ideas, and also as an Anabaptist. And the other thing that drives me at the moment is green theology and understanding this world as God's creation. So I want to explore all those things, and I want to do these videos very short. They're going to be short, they're going to be small, they're going to be little chapters. I'm going to do one a week or so. I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't do it, but the idea is to really explore some of those themes that fascinate me in this form, and they will be on the YouTube channel, and people can see them and disagree with them, comment on them, hate them. But the first one I want to look at is this idea of God being with us, God present with us, incarnation. Anyway, this is where I am, incarnated in misty Devon with Cornwall in the background, and I'm so glad that I live here. And God has called me and my family to this place, and it's a really great way to be incarnated. There are other things as well. I want to talk about that, because the other thing is working in a culture where life is hard, life is difficult, in a very deprived urban inner city culture. So I'll explore all this stuff as we go on. But anyway, thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.